Hello again, everyone. This is obviously not the standard RavensFilm video channel update type of thing because we got some technical problems. And basically this stems back a couple weeks to when we were recording the last batch of commentaries. Now, the main problem is I have a problem with the camcorder I've been using for 9 years now, this Sony CX580V, where apparently the little plug-in power mic jack has lost a lot of conductivity. And I've noticed when I was reviewing the last batch of commentaries, the one we did for the My Bloody Valentine remake and the upcoming one for John Carpenter's Christine, that there is a whole bunch of static in the left channel, right channel, whichever one. I think it was the right channel. Steve sits to the left of me, but it would have been the right channel on the stereo feed. There's a whole bunch of static on it. So I thought, well, maybe that's just one of the connectors wasn't entirely plugged in right, because that's happened before. And so I went through and did some filtering and cleared up like 98% of it or something like that. So you might hear a little crackle here and there if you listen to that one or the Christine one. I think they're about okay. They're just fine. But then I went to go several days later when I was finishing up the Showdown Little Tokyo review. Obviously, the last thing I end up doing with the videos is sit down and I record the voiceover for the synopsis, the plot summary at the beginning of the video. And I just want to okay, when I had that little thing there, let me double check. Let me throw in the headphones and check the audios and stuff like that. It's like, there's certain points where this thing, the jack plugged in here is not getting any sound whatsoever. So it's either the camcorder or the microphone. Well, I ended up checking the microphone and my little USB thing that I plug in here, which sadly only is a mono thing where it only takes one of the two stereo tracks. So I also dug up my old standard definition beast of a camcorder over here that I used way back when I shot stuff for The Fixer and Dead of Night and stuff like that, and plugged that in there and double checked. It's like, it's fine. It's not doing that same thing. So it was the thing on the camcorder. And so this is the major problem we've gone through in the last week or 2 weeks or something like that, whatever the hell it is. So basically the situation was, okay, this thing is not working properly. And like, well, I don't have, obviously it's been 9 years. There's no warranty on this thing. And it's like, I don't want to go to someone to get it fixed. And it's like, I don't have a camcorder to do anything on the channel for like 2 or 3 weeks. Obviously I'm shooting this on my iPhone. So that's why things are probably not looking and sounding quite the same as they usually are. So apologize for that, but situations. So there's the fact that like, okay, I don't want to send this off to get repaired and not have it for a couple of weeks and maybe whatever happens, and who knows how much it costs. So like I'd have another like half a month where I have nothing on the channel, which I already had in January because of my health condition. They filmed me all that type of stuff. Go watch the other one if you didn't catch up on that stuff. But so like I can't just have the channel just go into shit. I have to keep doing things. I need to do things. So we had a new Sony camcorder model, which was a 4K one, because all the few ones that are just regular HD just don't have all the proper settings, like the 24 frames per second and a few other different things. They're a lot more budget models for a reason. They don't have as much functionality. So now they're all up in 4K. So we grabbed like the lowest cost 4K one, which was still like $800 for an open box one from Best Buy, which was the Sony FDR AX43. 43. And basically this thing, we've already returned it because there's problems with it. But the fact of the matter is there's a widespread problem with this model where when you try to shoot in 4K, the thing just crashes. So it's pretty much goddamn useless. Okay, I can shoot in regular HD and anything like that, but it's like, okay, I have a 4K camcorder that I can't shoot 4K in, and Sony doesn't have an answer for it. And the thing's been out, I think, for 3 years now. There's no solution to this whole thing. Even the specialist who eventually did contact me is like, I think it might be a power issue, but it's like he doesn't really know. So like this thing's been known for years and you didn't like figure this out already? That seems very bad. And so the other thing was like, okay, they changed all of the sort of like audio options. Because on this one, there's a normal and a low setting for the audio input. And it has a built-in limiter, so the thing never peaks out, never distorts. Well, a new one's either auto or manual. And both of them were creating audio distortion. And so that's unacceptable. Like audio would be the obvious choice when I'm doing stuff where I'm shooting in front of the camera like this, and I can't just go in and start fiddling around with the freaking audio settings while I'm shooting. And also when we're doing the commentaries, I just can't sit there staring at the audio levels like, is it peaking out? Let me change things. So it's like, it has to be auto, and manual would be kind of a hard thing to do. It's like when I even tried manual, like eventually it was hearing distortion, despite the fact their levels were not hitting the red zone and peaking out. So it's like, this isn't working for me. The 4K thing doesn't work right. They don't have a direct solution for it. I could have this thing sent in to have it futz around with for weeks, which again is what I wanted to avoid with this one. And then just kind of like, it's all just, the 4K thing's not working right. It's like, well, why am I going to have a 4K camcorder we paid about $800 for if the 4K doesn't work and they don't have a solution for it? And then it's like, okay, the audio stuff isn't to my liking. They changed all that type of stuff. It's not working the way I needed to make it sound the right way. And even beyond the distortion thing, it just didn't sound the same, despite the fact that it's the same microphone I've been using since I did the first Blood review back in 2015. It was like, it just wasn't working for me. And like one of the guys on the, I've been making all these community tab posts to keep all you guys updated and all the other stuff here. So one of the guys said that one of the newer Sony models aren't as good as they used to be. So we just returned a thing and stuff like that. So the thing I had to fall back on, which was a major thing, because there was yet another model from Sony that would have been another upgrade and more money, which got good marks from Consumer Reports, but was like, I just don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with the same audio issues I have. It's the same settings. So I'm going to run into the same problems I'm already trying to deal with that I haven't resolved. And so it's like, I decided I don't want to deal with that. I want to order another thing that I'm totally unfamiliar with, have it come here. I had to futz around with it for a week to figure out what I'm doing with it and do a bunch of more tests on it and stuff like that. And then find out maybe I don't like it or maybe it does work or something like that. It's just, I just need to get back on track and get things going again, because everything's going, it's been a bad year so far. It's been a really bad year, and things are not on a proper track of productivity and stuff like that for my own mental health moving forward with this channel. So, B&H Photo Video had a used version of this same camcorder I have that I've been using for 9 years, and so I know the thing gives me the proper quality. As long as it's in good condition, where they pretty much say, we only sell stuff that is fully functional and has no problems in that regard. It might have some wear and tear a little bit here on the cosmetic side, but they verify that everything works properly. And we got a protection plan. There's a 90-day warranty from them. So we're covered for 2 years on the protection plan and 90 days with a warranty if there's anything that goes awry with it, but it's the same model. I've got all the exact same batteries and all the type of stuff to work with it. So as long as everything works, I'm just fine. I'm right back to where I was. Got to pay the exact same money I paid 9 years ago. I didn't pay for it because my birthday's coming up at the end of the month. The family chipped in and decided, well, it wasn't as expensive as the other one. So they covered the cost for it. So that's been a lot of stuff to get me back up on track and different things like that. So that's a long piece of just like what the fuck has been going on around here, or not going on around here, or just the aggravation I've been dealing with since all this stuff went upside down on me. So that should arrive on Saturday. That's what FedEx is telling me now. Hopefully things remain on track and it gets here Saturday. I'm off on Sunday. And hopefully I can get something moving and make myself feel like I'm actually doing productive things. Because I did shoot one video with the camcorder we've already returned. But I didn't like the quality of it, the technical quality. Again, I had audio distortion hitting on the whole thing in certain places. I wasn't happy with that. Some of the things were, the colors on the camcorder didn't quite look the same as this one. So it's like, there's a lot of things. And like, the LCD monitor was more like one of these newer TVs where they have this sort of like lower grade, sort of like IPS screen. If you don't know the technical stuff, basically as you move around the screen, it changes the sort of the look of the whole thing. You only have very narrow viewing angles to see the picture the way it's supposed to be seen. And that was the thing on the new one, which is not the thing on this 10-year-old model. This thing came out in 2012, and a lot of the other things on this thing worked better than the new one. So I don't know, just the fact that they put more R&D and more effort into like the DSLRs now, and they're kind of like, the camcorders, we can kind of get cheap on that thing, and we don't have to do it as much, despite the fact we're charging at least as much money as we were 10 years ago on this stuff. So this thing was sold for $800. I got it for $500 on eBay back in 2013. And so we paid about that much for the used version with the protection plan, all that type of stuff. So kind of back where I'm going to be and just see where things go from that point onward. So as long as it gets here undamaged, it all works the way it's supposed to, I'll be fine. I can get back to doing the things I'm supposed to be doing around here. And so I'll see, because I can't, not really editing this whole thing. So we're not getting any other stuff in this regard in terms of like, I'm usually cutting some images or footage of stuff I'll be talking about here. But, so again, we have the Showdown Little Tokyo review that came out. We have the commentary for the My Bloody Valentine remake, which is, again, we never liked the film. It's one of those things like, okay, well, we'll eke it out and kind of see how it goes and stuff like that. It's just kind of another thing where we kind of try to deconstruct it a little bit and figure out why it kind of doesn't work and why it's not that good of a type of thing. So, but the one for John Carpenter's Christine is going to be it's absolutely fantastic. Steve reread the entire novel, rewatched the actual film, so he was like 100%. Everything is like crystal clear in his head, going through the entire film, deconstructing the whole thing, the differences, the changes, the adaptation and the whole thing. Everything. It's a very deep discussion on the entire thing with the different themes and the changes made, all these different things. It's a really good commentary. But we'll see just where that actually lands in the schedule, because I'm not entirely certain yet, because everything's been so crazy and everything. But we'll probably be extending it a little further into February, because we've got some things planned for March. We're going to do Firestarter, and we are going to start doing Rambo commentaries. Me and Steve are going to start with First Blood next month, so you can really get some very interesting stuff on that regard. But so look out for all that type of stuff. But in terms of the videos I'll be shooting, once I get the damn camera and things start moving forward, then I'll have a plan and deal with things then. So we'll see how things go in the near future, but that's all I have for now. Excuse the little jump cut I had before, because I ran out of room on the damn camcorder on the freaking phone, so I had to delete a bunch of stuff to get the rest of this thing shot. So I'm going to wrap this up real quick. So guys, once things are all back in line, I'll let you guys know, and then we'll move forward in a good way. So hoping like hell everything goes right. So guys, thanks much. Take care. Bye-bye.